All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem Rakah. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect to the nation of Israel. And this is going to be a video talking about the nation of Edom and how they are hypocrites, how watching them fall is beautiful to see, right? I might mention some things about how some of you Jakes out there have got to learn to watch chaos without getting involved in it, man. Like, why am I watching videos and seeing one or two Jakes mingled in the mist, which some of them could be Edomites even, but they look like Jake, mingled in the midst of a protest with Idumeans trying to fight for what they're fighting for, as if what they're fighting for is for you to not be around neither. Like, some of y'all have got to really learn when to step off, man. Like, y'all don't get it. Y'all are simple, right? And the fall of Idumea is a beautiful thing to see, man. It's a beautiful thing to see this nation falling right now, man. It's beautiful, right? He's doing all these protests and stuff, right? Eventually, it's gonna get real, man. And then we're gonna see that they're not as bold to protest no more, right? They're gonna realize they're not as bold to be talking all this stuff that they're talking, man. He ain't no real freedom fighter. They're a joke, right? Now, let's go to this, man, because I've been wanting to do a lesson on this particular part of the scriptures, man, for a while, man, going into how the Edomites are going to go from a curse to destruction, right? This is Ecclesiastes chapter 41 and verse 5. Sirach chapter 41 and verse 5. The children of sinners are abominable children, and they that are conversant in the dwelling of the ungodly. The inheritance of sinners' children shall perish, and their posterity shall have a perpetual reproach. Now, that's what these Edomites are complaining about now, that their inheritance is perishing. Oh, we ain't got, get the lot out, mate. Deport the lot, mate. I'm sick of the lot, mate. Get them all out, mate. Deport the lot of what? And I'm seeing some of you Jake saying that. I'm like, bruv, don't you know that would include you, dummy? Like, they're so slow, bruv. Jake are fast on the feet when it comes to running, dipping off, but they're slow in the mind, a lot of y'all, man. Y'all don't get it. Talking about deport. Oh, there goes another one, man. I'm looking at it on the screen right now. There goes another one. Some Emil Heskey looking Drake, man. What the hell are you doing there, bro? Don't y'all mans know when to just sit back and relax, bro? Y'all always feel like when he's falling, you gotta help him, man. He's shoelaces are untied, and you're there talking about all time for your boss, mate. Let him trip over, bro. You getting involved for, man? Relax, man. Why the hell are they doing there? Don't y'all know how to just, like, they can do that beautifully with us and just stand back on the sidelines and watch us fall apart. Oh, black on black crime, it's not my fight, mate. They need to sort out their own community. Okay, we're gonna say that to you, man. Let y'all fight your own community when y'all are getting busted in the head with batons by your own people, mate. That's not our fight, mate. I got my own problems still. We're busy as the nation of Israel taking a beam out of our own eye. We've heard all the things that you people have said about us, right? And now we're like, you know what? You're right. We are dysfunctional. How about you leave us alone and don't make us have to try and sort out your problem? We're busy sorting out our own problems, yeah? You said that we're thugs, the fatherless children and all that. We're this and we're that. Okay, we're busy. We ain't got time to be worried about what you're doing. And we're busy sorting out our own lives, yeah? We're busy getting rid of all the stereotypes and all the evil things you said about us. We're busy fixing that, right? You say that the reason why we commit crimes is because of this and because of that. Okay, what's the reason that you all commit crimes then? If we commit crimes because we're black, according to what y'all would want to say, or because we don't have fathers in the household, or because of rap music, okay, let's just say that's true. Why do you commit your crimes then? What's the reason why you commit your crimes? How about let's get down to that? We'll take the beam out of our eye, and we've been taken out of our eye, and that's why we can see the mote in yours. Yeah, we can see what's in your eye because we've been gradually taking the beam out of our own eye and realizing, man, we're messed up ourselves. But now we can be like, okay, yeah, but they ain't no better. And after I've read a bit of this, and in fact, maybe I might do it right now, I'm gonna go to what the prophet Ezra was saying, man. See, now you got he's on these big ass muscular horses, man. These horses looking like something from Game of Thrones, man. 5, 6, what's that? What 6 white horses, and them ease that are on them football factory looking mans. They ain't looking like they're feeling too, you know what I mean? They don't want claret all over the place. Yo, Esau is a joke, man. Verse 7. The children will complain. In fact, verse 6 again. The inheritance of sinners' children shall perish, and their posterity shall have a perpetual reproach. We don't rate their lineage, man, and what their forefathers did. We ain't rating that. They're not good people. They're not good people, man. They're a bunch of garbage, right? And everything every generation that's came after them was as wicked as the one before, man. The children will complain of an ungodly father because they shall be reproached for his sake. And that's why they're so quick. It's like a inbuilt mechanism, man. They're so quick to be like, it wasn't me, it's my forefathers, mate. It wasn't us, mate. It's the elites, mate. It's the elites, mate. At the end of the day, it's the elites, mate. They're so quick. They're so quick to tell you about how it's the elites. It's not us, mate. It's not me, mate. It's the elites, mate. And now it's not us. It's the small hats, mate. Now they got another thing that they say. Oh, it's not us. It's not us. It's the elites. Now they're like, oh, it's not us. It's the small hats, mate. When is it gonna be you? When are you gonna focus on what you as an individual have did though, and then calculate how the individuals of your nation have did a lot of madness, man. And that's why y'all are going from curse to destruction. All these protests that we're seeing, and there goes some more Jakes again, man, in the background, man. One of these UK protests, man. There goes some more dabbled in the mist. But then I think those are the counter protesters, I guess, actually. So let me not even. Those are the ones that are trying to be on that Palestine, or all that business against the like ones that are like, get them out, mate. Get the lot, mate. Do the lot, mate. Get them out, mate. All that. Anyway, verse 7. In fact, verse 8. Woe be unto you, ungodly men, which have forsaken the law of the Most High. For if ye increase, it shall be to your destruction. And that's E. They ain't kept the laws of Yahweh. They're talking all this. We're a Christian country, mate. I'm sick and tired of seeing all these mosques, mate. And we're a Christian country. Okay, what's your favourite Bible verse? John 3:16, innit, mate? Yeah, John 3:16. No, man. You don't. What does John 3:16 mean? It means God loves everybody, mate. Okay, so he loves the people that you're telling to get out of your country then too, don't he? Well, the Bible's been changed, mate. They're quick. They'll say anything. Esau's gonna say anything he needs to say to win, whether it's the truth or not. He'll say whatever he needs to say to make him. And one of the elders over in the UK, he goes into that, man. Out. He says whatever he needs to say to get the result he desires, man. He don't care about whether it's true or not. Verse 9. In fact, verse 8. Woe be unto you, ungodly men, which have forsaken the Lord the Most High. For if ye increase, it shall be to your destruction. And they have increased. And it's to their destruction. It's not because they're going to rise up. It's because they're going to getting ready to be destroyed, man. Verse 9. And if ye be born, ye shall be born to a curse. And they're getting ready to be under the curses that we was under. Like all these protests that we're seeing. This one I'm looking at right now with the TV muted. Right? With the screen muted that I'm watching it on. That's part of the curses, man. They're losing out. They're complaining about how what they're basically complaining about is the stranger. Let me go to it, man, because this is what the claim that they're making anyway. Now, whether it's true or not is a whole other case. But for the lower level Edomite, this is gonna become true before it is for the higher level Edomite. So let's go to it, man. Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 43: the stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high. That's what they're complaining about when they're talking all this immigration stuff, right? The people that ain't from the country, ain't from their so-called native land, right? Get in a higher position than them. Now, if you're a low-level Edomite, that higher position above you could just be they're not an addict, and they've got a council house, and an E that is an addict might not be able to have a council house, not because he can't have one, but because he's an addict. Because you Edomites, you get these council houses and all of these things, but then you're an alcoholic, you don't know how to act, you have the police coming to your house every single day, and then you get evicted. You get the house, but you don't know how to act and end up getting evicted out of it, man, because you're drunk, throwing things at your partners at the window, shouting at the window, climbing into the window with a ladder, right? Drunk, you're losing your keys, and rather than get another key cut, you're climbing into the window with a ladder, shouting your mouth off at 3 o'clock in the morning, police having to come around, police banging off the door, police using a big battering ram to bang off the door off the hinges, taking about 10 minutes to get in. You're trying to sneak out the other, like, this is the things you Edomites do. So let's not try and make it like y'all don't get the opportunity. You get the opportunity. You're just not good enough, mate. Yeah, y'all just complain, but you're just not good enough. That's the thing that y'all don't want to deal with, man. But they're feeling this curse in their mind. They're feeling this. Now they're not receiving, like, really experiencing this at the highest level, but at the lowest level of an Edomite, to some degree, they are feeling experiencing this particular curse because they're complaining about it, right? The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. So they're lower than the lowest of another nation, man. Because they can't compete, and then it's starting to trickle down to it. They're like, man, I wonder if at the higher levels that would be a thing that we'll have to worry about. And the middle class people are like, man, we don't want to have to deal with none of that. But the middle class people are smarter than the lower class Edomite anyway, so they already know that the jobs that they have got some level of skill, so it's not going to happen to them as much. It's just they're being attacked from their higher ups anyway. But ultimately, all of it's being done so that there ain't no middle class thing, and it's just elite Edomite and everyone else, and we don't care about none of y'all. That's what it really is. But let's go back to this. Verse 9, Sirach chapter 41 and verse 9, and if you be born, you should be born to a curse, and if ye die, a curse shall be your portion. And that's going into how you Edomites ain't going to be able to escape having to go through the same curses that we went through, man. For they whose destiny was not to drink of the cup have assuredly drunken, and I doubt he that shall go altogether unpunished. Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it. You're going to have to feel what we felt, man, and you already are. You already are getting a little taste of what it's been like for us, man. And this is a little taste. This is how it feels for you to be going through this while you're in power, right? Because the people that you're protesting against, if you're being honest, they look like you. You're not protesting and then the people that you're protesting against look like somebody else. That's not what's happening, man. That is not what's happening. Look at these Edomites. These Edomites are gnashing of teeth. Who you pushing, mate? Who you pushing? You lot should be ashamed of yourselves. You lot should be ashamed of you. You know it's not Britain anymore. You know it's not. Mate, relax, man. Go have a pint, geezer. Drunk pillocks. We're talking that Edomite talk. You drunk plonk, bleeding plonk at. Clowns, man. To watch you Edomites fall apart is absolutely beautiful to see, man. Because y'all are so proud and act like you're so civilized, right? But the footage I'm seeing of all of this don't look much different than the footage I've seen in them riots in 2011, man. It's just, y'all ain't going to smash up everything because you know that it's your stuff anyway. It's your things. So it's not the same when you riot versus when anyone else riots, man. Because you're rioting against yourself, proving that you're the problem. Because when we riot, or when we riot, or so-called protesters, y'all, whatever semantical word you want to put on it, when we got a problem and go out in public and start talking about it, right? If we march or whatever, yeah, we're marching against you. And when you go out and march, guess what? You're marching against yourselves as well. So you're the problem. Simple as that. If every single time people are marching, they're marching about you, you're the problem. Because people ain't marching trying to get black people to do something for them to help them out. They ain't. Because the black people are too busy marching to try and get a problem fixed for themselves. Verse 10, all that are of the earth shall turn to earth again, so the ungodly shall go from a curse to destruction. Now, Isaiah the 14th chapter goes into this, where when the other nations are ending up being able to go into be buried, as in terms of like go and find rest, right? You ease are not gonna find rest after. Hey, Salakia, say Salakia. I just seen one next Indian looking geezer having a real big smile on his face. E falling apart, man. Just, but he's holding the England flag in there, so he's lost himself. But he looks like it could be a G. He looks like he's having a real good time watching them fall apart, man. And that's right, man, because it is funny to watch y'all fall apart. Y'all are through. Y'all ain't see all this talk about the English gentleman and all that, mate. It's a load of BS. You know, English gentlemen, they're dumb. Talking all that. But let me go back to this, man. Let me not get distracted, man. So at chapter 41 and verse 10, all that are of the earth shall turn to earth again. So the ungodly shall go from a curse to destruction. Now, they're already starting to feel the curse anyway, man. Just a small, and it's not even a big dose, man. It's like a one drop of essential oils kind of dosage, man. But eventually there's a time going to come where the whole lid of the essential oils of the curses, the whole vial of wrath gets taken, the whole lid gets taken off, right? And just poured in, man. And they're going to get the full dosage of what it's like to be cursed. Right now, they're just getting like a small micro dosage of it, man. That you can still kind of function. You can still kind of get away with being doing a bit of Edomite privileges. But the dosage that Yahweh's getting ready to put on their nation is going to be so grand, there ain't going to be nothing left of them. Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 7, and Yahweh thy power shall put all these curses upon thy enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. Now, does the Bible say that Esau hates Jacob? Let's find out, yeah? Ezekiel chapter 35 and verse 11, right? In fact, Ezekiel chapter 35 and verse 5. So yeah, I was thinking for a second that I was wrong about how it actually goes specifically into how Esau has a hatred for Jacob. Verse 3. Ezekiel chapter 35 and verse 3. And say unto it, in fact, verse 2, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it, and say unto it, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out mine hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. Yahweh's doing it to you Edomites right now. I'm looking at on the screen right now, E against E, Egyptian against Egyptian, in a non-Egyptian, not even in Egypt. This is Egyptian against Egyptian in the land of the UK, right, in England. And they're against each other right there, man. I don't see a Jake in sight right now, what I'm looking at. Not one. But make all the people protesting be so-called black people, and you'd have all these same people on the comment board. Oh, mate, they're causing trouble, blah, blah. They'd be saying everything that they need to say. They wouldn't be thinking, oh, the police are doing things to try and antagonize them. And even now that they're facing this themselves now, they ain't going to think back on any single time that there was a protest of so-called black people and be like, man, maybe we were wrong about what was happening in them protests that these so-called black people was doing. Maybe the police was treating them unfairly as well in the crowd and actually trying to antagonize them and cordoning them off when they was trying to do things peacefully. They ain't going to think that because they're not a fair people, right? Verse 4, I will lay thy cities waste and thou shalt be desolate. And that's what they're complaining about, man. The cities are ruined, mate. All the things closing down. There's no jobs. Like, it's all ruined, mate. That's what they complain there. This is Yahweh putting it on you. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am Yahweh, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel. Right now, what did it say in Deuteronomy 30 verse 7? The curses are going to go upon those that hate the Israelites. So how much more for a nation that had a perpetual hatred for us, man? With Deuteronomy chapter 30 verse 7, and Yahweh thy power put all these curses upon thine enemies and then them that hate thee. So how much more to those that had a perpetual hatred for us, man? They're gonna get the full dose, right? All the side effects of what they're gonna get, all the side effects of the curses. Right now, they got a small micro dose, so they ain't getting all the side effects of the curse, man. They ain't experiencing every curse, right? As I'm looking, yo, licking in his head. Hey, Shalakia, man. Hey, if you could see what I'm looking, if you could see what I'm looking at off the screen, man, you'd be like, yo, what the? You'd be like, yo, get him. You'll be like, get him too, man. Yo, one more rewind that one more time, man. Hey, Shalakia. Oh man. E, man. E on E. What's all this E on E? You know what? You know what though? I blame the fathers and all that country music, man. Ah, man, got his ass. Yo, he got him with that swing right there, boy. Some Major League Baseball type swing that was. Hey, Salakia. Hey, if you could have seen, if you could have seen what I just saw, man, you'd be like, yo, that's hilarious. I know some of y'all would have thought that that's funny as I did. Deuteronomy chapter 13, verse 7, and Yahweh thy power put all these curses upon thine enemies, and on them that hate thee, which persecute thee. And if any of you Edomites have come across this video, and you're trying to be like, oh, they're laughing at, mate, y'all would be the same people. Yeah, y'all would be the same people that would be dancing along to drill rap, man. Be on the comment board, would buy the album and make these people money. Y'all would be some of the same people that's on the YouTube comment boards saying some F this person and F this person when the person was a teenager that got unalived because they thought that they was in some gangs and was running around in gangs thinking that they're gangsters instead of thinking that they're what they actually are, teenagers, and unaliving each other. And y'all didn't have a problem about none of that, man. And Charleston White, I saw one of the videos what the elders did. Charleston White baited out the hypocrisy of you Edomites real quick in your face, man. He showed exactly what y'all are on. Verse 7 again, and yet how would thy power put all these curses upon thine enemies, and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee? And Esau had a perpetual hatred for us, right? So he's definitely going under the curses along with every other enemy of the children of Israel. He had a perpetual hatred, man. Ezekiel chapter 35 and verse 5, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. And Yahweh is going to make y'all do it to each other. World War III is going to be E on E, right? Most of it's going to be E on E. Every single world war, most of it's been you E's, man. Y'all have been the main ones. Y'all have been the main one. Verse 7, thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out, and him that returneth. There ain't going to be no comings and goings of E. Y'all are going to be cursed, man. There ain't going to be none that of like having a good time. All of y'all are going to be, all the right, left, all of it's going to be cursed. And even when they eventually try and be like, you know what, we need to forget right and left. It's just us and our values, and all the people that don't want to vote, they're actually part of the problem. Even worse than all this right left paradigm. It's all the ones that don't even want to vote, because at least we all conform to a system. But these non-voters don't even conform to a system. They're truly just wild people. They don't even think about any of this. They're just completely miscreants, or whatever the word uses they're gonna try and come with, man. They're gonna eventually try and blame those kind of people, man. Be like, yo, it's the people that don't care about either side that are the real problem. And you're gonna have some of these E's that are weak and that don't really are fickle as hell. Gonna transfer from saying that they're this side. I'm not right-handed anymore. I'm left-handed. I'm not left-handed anymore. I'm right-handed. That's gonna be the main transfer. I'm not left-handed anymore. I'm right-handed, because that's who's in power right now. But really, it's all the same thing anyway. But they're gonna be like, yo, I want something better. So I'm gonna pretend that I'm this one for a bit. And then if it was to go on for long enough to where the left-handed becomes the power now, according to the world view. They'd say that they're that now because they're fickle. They don't care. Verse 8, and I will fill his mountain with slain men, in thy hills and in thy valleys, and in all thy rivers. They shall fall that are slain with the sword. I will make thee perpetual desolations, and thy city shall not return. And he shall know that I am Yahweh, because thou hast said, these two nations and these two countries shall be mine, and we will possess it. Whereas Yahweh was there, and that's talking about us, the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. They actually, these Edomites, if you was to hear what they say in private at the elite level, they speak about us as though they were Yahweh. Whereas Yahweh said, you are my people and I shall be your God. They think, no, we're their people. I'm their God now. Esau thinks he's our God now and that we're his people. And he thinks that he can punish us however he wants, man. And that's why he always tries to scapegoat us and use Israelite iniquity as a smokescreen for all the wickedness that they do, man. And it's disgusting. They try and use us as a smokescreen for all the evil that they do, man. And it's not right. Right? It's hypocrisy at the highest level. Verse 11. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh, I will even do according to thine anger and according to thine envy, which thou hast used out of thy hatred against them, and I will make myself known among them when I have judged thee. Right? And for anyone that's new, just 1 second. So look, for anyone that's new to the scriptures, man, Ezekiel 35 is talking about the people, right? The children of Israel as a people, right? And Ezekiel 36th chapter is talking about the land of the children of Israel, right? Ezekiel 35 goes into more so the children of Israel as a people and how we lost our inheritance, right? But then the Ezekiel 36 is going into how the land of the children of Israel was ultimately taken away as a result of the children of Israel losing their inheritance, man. Right? But wasn't even planning on going into Ezekiel 36 in this chapter. But Ezekiel 36 chapter is ultimately mainly going into the land, going into how the Idumeans and the rest of the heathen ultimately ended up taking the land and enjoying that they had the land, right? Which is what was really fulfilled in 1948, as opposed to the parts that they think they fulfilled, right? And then the middle to latter part of Ezekiel 36 goes into how the real descendants of the children of Israel are going to return to the land. And when they do return to the land, it's going to become like the Garden of Eden, which clearly proves that the people that are in the land of Israel right now are not the children of Israel. They're something else. They're the Idumeans. They're the different tribes of Esau, mainly Amalek, right? That's who they mainly are, man. Now, let's go. Let me carry on reading verse 11. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh, I will even do according to thine anger and according to thine envy. And that's what they really don't want to address, man. All this stuff that they have, all this anger that they have towards us and hatred towards us, it's envy. They don't like seeing you be handsome walking down the street. They don't like seeing that you shining because you got that oils on your face and all that, and you're just shining and walking down the street, minding your business. They don't like seeing you on a job, having a job, because then they can't say, then if they do say that, black people don't have a job. You know what I mean? They're complaining about how immigrants take the jobs. But then at the same time, they used to make jokes about saying how the immigrants don't have the jobs and that they're just scrounging off benefits. So which one is it? Are they benefit scrounging or are they having a job, all the jobs? Which one is it, man? They're a joke. Esau's a joke, man. Right? They're just the biggest crybabies ever. Which that was used out of thy hatred against him. The envy of what they had towards the children of Israel led to hatred, man. The envy that they have towards us leads to hatred because they know they can't compete equally. So they have to come up with lies. But the lies are based on as a result of the envy that they have. Right? Any problem that they try and talk about anyone else has, they have it worse. In a way higher degree, they do worse than that, man. And I will make myself known among them when I have judged thee. And thou shalt know that I am Yahweh, and I have heard all thy blasphemies which thou hast spoken against the mountains of Israel, saying they are laid desolate, they are given to us to consume, because Yahweh made us go through this. We understand in the scriptures that from reading Deuteronomy 30 and verse 1, that Yahweh said he's going to make us go through the blessing and the curse. So we understand that we had to go through all of this stuff that we're going through. But you Edomites, while we was going through it, arrogantly thought that you actually caused this, and that this was just the result of how we was always inferior, and how like Yahweh made a mistake giving us the birthright or something. That's what y'all trying to act like. No, it's not true, man. It's not the case, right? It's not the case, man. Verse 13, just with your mouth you have boasted against me, and have multiplied your words against me. I have heard them. So Yahweh heard all the running of your mouth that you did, man. Verse 14, thus saith Yahweh, when the whole earth rejoiceth, I will make thee desolate. And that's going into this, that matches the same scripture that I'm going to get from Isaiah the 14th chapter, man, which, so that I don't forget, I'll go to it right now. When the whole earth's made at rest, after the 1,000-year reign of the Israelites, you Edomites ain't going to be able to be like, yeah, like you ain't going to be able to be like, yay, the 1,000 years is over, we can finally all just get along now, yeah? Okay, Jacob, you got your revenge now. We're going to go back to Mount Seir, we're going to build up high walls, and we're just going to mind our own business. We finally realised you was right. You was right. Crack on, Basil. You was right. Yeah. We've realized now the error of our ways. We didn't know. We understand now, brother Jacob. The birthright was always yours, and we're just gonna go back to Mount Seir and hide in caves and just eat bugs like we used to do. No, that's not gonna be happening. You're going from a curse to Obadiah 1 and 18. You're gonna be going through all the curses of Deuteronomy 28 to the curses, man. That's what y'all are gonna be going through. Isaiah, I want to just say this as well as a side note, man. You see, when you talk, I'm looking at this and I can't hear what the guy is saying, but you know when people try and talk to you and they're trying to all tap up your shoulder, man. I don't like that, man. They're trying to tap up your shoulder. That's like trying to like gain some kind of dominance over people, man. I don't like when people try and talk and do that, man. And that's that passive aggressive stuff as well, man. And it's a strength check. People try and touch your shoulder to try and test how strong you are, man. Thinking they're slick on it. That's why, even on a side note, when John Jones and Tom Aspinall was kind of going through their back and forth thing, Tom Aspinall tried to like put his arm on John Jones' shoulder, like he was trying to be polite and friendly and that. And John Jones dashed that hand off that shoulder real quick, man. He was like, nah, don't try to do none of that to me. Because he knew exactly what that was, man. Like, I'd recommend not to make people do that to you. Which is not, it's not really that, like a, no doctrinal thing or nothing like that. But it's like, nah, man. I ain't with all that. I don't like that kind of stuff. I just seen somebody do it on the screen. I was like, yeah, he's trying to like usurp dominance over that guy, man. Man tapped his shoulders while talking to him about 10 times, man. I don't even know what he said. But the guy's face didn't look like he liked what he was saying, though. And he looked like he was trying to put some witchcraft on him as well when he was doing that, man. Even them E's at work be trying to do that kind of stuff, man. Trying to ask you to do something on a job and that, and then be trying to touch your shoulder. Thinking they slick. I don't like that. But that's not no doctrine or nothing like that, man. I'm just saying I don't like it. I don't like when people try and do that kind of thing, man. Because I know what it is. Just like would wink, man. Let me not even, yeah. I'll say it, man. And in fact, I'm not gonna say that one. Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 20. In fact, verse 18. All the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, everyone in his own house. But thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch, and as the raiment of those that are slain. Because you don't take them clothes and do nothing with them. Once a man's been unalived in them, they're good for the bin, right? You don't re-wear some clothes that a man's been unalived in, especially if he was unalived in, like murdered in them. You know what I mean? You throw that away, right? Maybe if he didn't die in the clothes, you might keep. Some people might keep them, sell them to a charity shop or something, give them to a charity shop or something. But a clothes that a man was literally unalived in, them are good to get thrown away. right? Just like how E is good to get thrown away, according to Obadiah 1:18, not according to me, according to what the Bible says, according to what the God of the Bible says. It's a Christian country, right? So y'all should agree with it too. Thrust through with a sword that go down to the stones in the pit, as a carcass trodden under feet. Thou shalt not be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land and slain thy people. The seed of evildoers shall never be renowned. And they are going to slay their own people, man. He's going to honor like Esau is going to be trying to talk about mercy, mercy, mercy and all that, yeah? And we're going to make the point to him and be like, hang on, you're talking all this mercy stuff. Where was the mercy that you showed to your own people in the land of America? That you destroyed the whole land? Where was the mercy that you showed to them? You destroyed all your own people in the land of America, and y'all are talking about mercy. You literally unalived all your own people in the land of America, and none of them survived. All of them got completely destroyed. Your own land that you was talking about, how that's your land and America's your land, right? And your own land that you were saying is America and it's yours. We're the native people now and all that, right? You destroyed it. So what are you on about? That's one of the examples of where we're going to be able to say they destroyed their own land. And then there's going to be many others, because they're going to be shooting ICBMs off of all of their supposed lands that they're the native people. But as far as America goes in particular, they're going to be trying to, when they're in captivity, they're asking for mercy and all that. And we're going to hang on. Where was the mercy that you showed to your own people that you destroyed with them ICBMs? Where was the mercy that you showed them? And they were your own people. And it wasn't your own people only that got destroyed in that land. But you didn't even have the mercy to show your own people in there. So what are you asking for mercy from us for? Where's the mercy that you showed to the people that was of our nation, that you also destroyed with them ICBMs in the land of America? We're going to be able to point that into your face and question you on that. Oh, your soul rights and no, look what you did to America. Look at what you did to that whole land. You're the one that we did warn you and tell you, if you do this, Yahweh Shai is going to return. We told you, right? We did tell you, if you shoot the ICBMs off, Yahweh Shai is going to return. Like, there's still now, if you believe and you've got free will, there's still right now time to not shoot the ICBMs off at America and not make Yahweh Shai return, but you're still going to do it anyway because you're proud. You ain't going to believe that what I'm saying to you now is actually good advice. You're going to be like, this guy don't know what he's talking about. He's black, ain't he? He sounds black to me, mate. He sounds like one of them black fellas. So, bollocks to him. That's what you're going to think. You got warned by your own people. You don't feel it now, but you're going to eventually feel the influence. And you was like, nah, you don't tell me how I'm going to feel. I'm going to feel very nice. I'm going to feel very good. You was arrogant, man. You was arrogant. Verse 21, prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. That leads me to Obadiah, right? They're going to go from a curse to destruction, man. They're going to go from the curses of Deuteronomy 28, being in captivity under the children of Israel for 1,000 years. And then after that's finished, the other nations that also was in captivity as well, they're going to go back to their own lands, free to to keep Yahweh's laws and live and enjoy the earth that we've made as the children of Israel in that 1,000-year reign that we're going to have. That 1,000-year reign to like really truly establish what the earth's going to be like, man. And then in the 1,001st year, we're still going to be ruling, and we're going to be ruling forever after that. But the rest, that 1,001st year is going to be like the beginning of the heathens' freedom in terms of living in this world now where the laws of Yahweh are the law of the world. That's going to be their beginning of that. But Esau's not going to get to enjoy that, because that's when he's fallen away. He's gone after that. Obadiah chapter 1 and verse 18. And before any of you Christians complaining, according to your own Christianity doctrine, you like to say that Obadiah has happened already. So if Obadiah happened already, well, at the time when it happened, that you're claiming it happened, would it have not been evil to say that, oh, you can't say that Esau is going to be done away with back then, whenever you're claiming that it happened, which we don't believe it's then. But at the time when it was happening, at the time when it was happening, would it have been evil to say anything about it? When you claim to believe it's going to happen. And if your answer is no, well then neither is it wrong for us to say about it now, man. Because whoever you think were the Edomites, they ended up destroyed according to what you're saying. But it's not okay for us to think whoever we think the Edomites are going to be destroyed and we think the Edomites are you. And you match it so perfectly, man. You live just like them. There's no way that we could be the children of Israel and you are not the Edomites. It's not possible. Verse 18, in the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau a stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahweh have spoken it, right? It don't matter whether I decide, oh, actually, there's that one Edomite that I knew, and he was a good man, right? He was a good man. He was always fair. Would not be true, but it wouldn't matter if I perceived it to be true. Yahweh says there's not going to be any remaining of you, because he knows you way better than we do. Right? There's not going to be any remaining of the house of Esau, man. And I'm going to end the video there. The house of Idumea, all the house of Edom are going to go from the curses to destruction.